Hi, thank you for joining me today. I'm very grateful you're here. I've been noticing that as we deal with coronavirus and shelter at home guidelines and restrictions, I've been feeling into a lot more of my own personal grief. I've been feeling a lot of compassion for others, and it's really inspired me to just share words that are supportive and empathetic in the text messages I communicate with friends and loved ones and family members, as well as doing something more global, such as writing an article or sharing a story here on a podcast. Since I can't lead workshops and retreats, which is the foundation of the work I do in Grief Refuge, I did a long discernment process to determine whether or not doing online groups would resonate with my values. After many conversations with my higher power and probably overanalyzing things a little bit too much, I did get back to a place of intuition and the inner knowing and got clear about an answer of yes. This is a time of much needed empathy. This is a time of much needed support. And so I am providing online grief support groups using the Zoom technology. And I do have space available should that interest you. The easiest way to show your interest is to visit the website griefrefuge.com. And if you scroll down just a little bit, I think you'll see the button for something about learning more about grief support groups. Please know that any type of grief is welcome, and I'm limiting these groups to 8 people per group. That's because online I think it's a lot more difficult to facilitate, and we want to make sure that people have the sacred space and the platform to feel as much support as possible. So again, just visit griefrefuge.com if you feel like additional grief support is something that you could benefit from right now. I do look forward to communicating with you and helping support you should you need the help. Thank you. I recently wrote an article for some friends who are experiencing the shelter at home guidelines in complete isolation. They don't have anybody to go through this with. I don't mean that they can't talk or FaceTime with anybody. I just mean they can't physically touch anybody. And as I've been conversing with friends, I've just realized how difficult this actually is. So I wrote this article. I'm going to read it here. And it's called Grieving, a Much Needed Hug. Do you remember seeing videos of people on the streets in New York City holding signs that say free hugs? There would be some skeptical stranger slowly approach the hugger, but then for whatever reason, open themselves up to a warm embrace. As a viewer, seeing that encounter would spark joy and create our own feelings of warmth and tenderness. How about now? What would your response be if someone you saw offering free hugs to strangers was happening right outside your doorstep? Hugs are dying right now, and it's ironic. Hugs are things that help us survive. Research studies have shown that hugs help reduce fear, and the highly acclaimed family therapist, Virginia Satir, has stated people need at least 4 hugs a day to survive. Hugs are known to help us feel happier and healthier. They're a way to show comfort and help people feel supported. If you're with your family during this shelter at home time, keep hugging your loved ones. Even on those days that you want to pull your hair out. A hug can help heal that frustration or anger experienced toward another person. Sadly, there are many people who are sheltering at home alone and are in complete isolation. I've been thinking a lot about them and empathizing with their loneliness and longing for connection. As I imagine myself in a situation of sheltering at home alone, I feel a sense of stir craziness and also a sense of deep despair. I hope the feelings I'm projecting are wrong. I know that my imagination can take me to a dark place sometimes. But there are times when I listen to friends who are sheltering at home alone. They speak about their loneliness. They make jokes about talking to themselves while looking in the mirror or pretending that a stuffed animal is now their best friend. These friends who are sheltering at home alone have no one to hug. They're not getting any physical contact with another person. Zero. Not even a handshake or a high five right now. I can't imagine how hard that is. Physical touch is so important in our lives. Without the comfort of touch from another person, getting through this pandemic emotionally is that much more difficult. Have we taken touch for granted in the past? It matters not. What does matter is that touch and human-to-human connection is now being longed for by millions, if not billions of people. It still baffles me how quickly all this changed. One day we were hanging out with friends, grabbing drinks, dancing, playing games, playing at the park. But then the next day we're told to keep a safe distance from each other in order to protect our health and vitality. For everyone sheltering at home alone, my heart goes out to you. I wish I could create a fix for your situation. I wish I could say, eat this or do this and you'll feel better. But I can't. There isn't anything that will take that pain away. And I'm so sorry that's how it is right now. If it's at all any reconciliation, please know that you're still loved. You may be unable to feel it physically, but hopefully you feel it emotionally. Will it help to be told more often that you're loved? Will it help if you are smiled to more frequently? Can hearing another person laugh help you laugh more? Does laughing help you feel better? Please do what's best for you and take care of yourself. Remember to be kind to yourself. Also know that everyone who loves you is also missing your touch. Although you may not get the physical touch you need at the moment, there are a few things you can do to self-remedy. I have some friends who are sheltering at home alone, and they recommend doing these things. Feeling sunshine on your skin, cradling a stuffed animal, doing self-massage on your neck or your hands, watching funny videos, touching plants, trees, and other living, breathing things while in nature, exercising and really getting a sweat going, closing your eyes and visualizing hugs from loved ones, and using a weighted blanket. Are there others I'm missing? Although a much-needed hug isn't happening right now, hang on to that hope and trust that one is coming soon. Yes, it's hard, but you are doing well. This restraint is only temporary. It too shall pass. Thank you so much for listening to my story, but more importantly, thank you so much for making this space for your own grief. This episode was really about some close friends who are really struggling with being alone. Although your situation may or may not be similar, just hearing the stories of others always helps. Please remember that if you do need additional support, I am offering online grief support groups. Visit griefrefuge.com to express your interest. Have a wonderful rest of your day and take great care.